shit.
Yo, 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 you tuning into the Notion Podcast. It's your boy Dizzy D Spill with my co-host in the building.
Jelani Evans.
How you doing today, brother?
Uh, I'm good.
Good?
I'm good. I cannot complain, man. I'm maintaining.
That's always the best feeling when everything may not go perfectly, but you really can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really easy to have something to complain about in this day and age. Right?
Well, the thing about it is, like, while that is true, it's also all about your perception. And so while I could complain about things, I actually take a step back and think about what I can be appreciative of,
right,
or be grateful for. So it's like, I could complain like, man, this shit didn't happen, and woo, but to be able to be in a position to make things happen, and you know what I'm saying, be in a position for that not to happen, but to be able to have it for it to not happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
absolutely.
It's like, or being able to put out the effort and the energy regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, that should be the focus as far as like when you're working, more about the output instead of the income.
Yeah.
Because if you do it long enough, you do it consistently enough, and you're on top of it, the income will come. Yeah. At some point, you know what I'm saying?
I agree, man. I agree. We always had these conversations on mic. We always go in a little more depth off mic about, our perspective and experiences, and that's what we've been able to kind of condense and then deliver on the podcast. But that's definitely for starters, like perception is very important. Excuse me. You've been doing some events for Kickz Sneakerz.
I have.
Tell the listeners, your experience, how you've been feeling, and, some things. I don't know, maybe you can even give some pointers on from a vending perspective on what some of these events should try to improve on. You know what I'm saying? Now that you're grabbing a lot of experience in that.
Communication would be the first.
Man.
Well, and
that's like a hump everybody struggles to get over.
And the thing about it is, like, not so much just the communication, but the timing in which you choose to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like when the message is delivered. For instance, I've been doing events. I did an event, and they told me I was doing the event a week before the event. And so it kind of threw me off. Luckily, didn't have anything planned, you know what I'm saying, for that time frame. But I mean, like, within a week, you would think that it wasn't going on because there was no promotion, there was no flyers, there was no talk of it. I had applied for it like at the beginning of the month. And then there was a different event that, like, as soon as everything clicked in, like, they let me know that I was going to be able to vend at the event.
Right.
But this is still like 3 weeks out that they've given me notice. Right. So they're giving me time to actually properly campaign, advertise, market.
Absolutely.
And then they had a flyer with my logo. Boom. So that's added. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to kind of cross promote. You know what I'm saying? My stuff at their event, and the flyer has all of us together. Like, it's serious. We mean this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just a matter of how you communicate and how you go about things. Communication is definitely key. I would say if you're in a position of vending at an event, be on their helmets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of stay on their line, like social media, you know what I'm saying? If you got numbers or email, just to kind of make sure you can get as much info as possible to stay ahead of things, because ain't no telling how things could change. I had to change locations at an event, and I didn't know until I was at the event.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get there and I'm getting ready to set up, and I'm like, yo, so can you guys? And they're like, oh, no, that's not us. And I'm like, hey, so what's going on? And people come over like, yeah, you can't. We have an issue. This isn't going to be able to work. So then we have to move you somewhere else that is convenient for them, but was inconvenient for me.
Yeah, that's never it's never a good feeling, man.
And the thing about it is, if I had known before the day of, I could have better prepared. But it kind of threw off the tone for my day, because now not only am I moving, I'm moving somewhere that isn't, you know what I'm saying, ideal for me.
Right.
So it just kind of put me in a, you know what I'm saying, a bit of a funk.
Put you in a funk,
just
for
through
sure.
setup, you know what I'm saying. Once the event started, I shook it off, you know what I'm saying. I started interacting with people, and it was a good day, you know what I'm saying. Whenever I get out and get the chance to interact with people, it's a good day. But yeah, and then I would say, as far as vending, do your best to be compact.
Yeah.
As far as like how you pack your equipment and what you bring
like
and
how
whatnot.
you travel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because the thing about it is, like, I'm a one-man operation, right?
Yes.
So because of that, I have to make sure that I'm able to maneuver everything within 1 to 2 trips. 2 being the most, honestly. And so it's like the way that I have things set up, I can drop this in here and put this on top and load that and strap this, and I got the backpack and I got the other things with the hands, and then I got the hand to drag the cart with all the other stuff, and and you know what I'm saying, as long as y'all stay out of my way, I'm good. You know what I mean? But it's like, and that's cool because it's not a whole lot, but you know, the bigger your product and the more stuff you have to carry, the more
stress.
Well, yeah, and then the more time that's needed for a setup and take down. You got to think about the preparation of, you know what I'm saying, setting up everything to have it look how you. It's just, so you got to have to think about those type of things. Take the weather into account. Make sure that you stay hydrated and you use the bathroom before you get to the events, because 9 times out of 10 they have porta potties, or they're using another business's facilities as far as a restroom.
So now you're getting the evil eye when you walk in there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and that's not always, you know what I'm saying. It's, how can I put it? I don't want to say it's not appreciated, because if you're using it, they have already had a conversation to allow you to use the restrooms, right? But if you're not a patron of theirs, it's kind of an inconvenience.
That goes back to who's it benefiting? Is it benefiting them more than?
And so, you know, it's just those type of things taken into account. Comfortable shoes, and I will say this: you can't be shy as a vendor. You cannot be shy, because people will walk by. They will just walk by your booth. You have to have that engaging energy, and you have to be excited about your product or your service, whatever it is that you're pushing, because if you're not excited about it, you can't expect anybody else to be. And 9 times out of 10, they're trying to get to the food, or they're trying to find a restroom or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're moving around.
Do they let you play music in your booth area?
You can. I mean, they have music overall, but people are playing music in their booths as well.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, like, to find a happy medium, though, that is
jazz.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, that would probably be.
Can't really argue with jazz, you know. So that's like, especially jazz without any
So
any
for real,
lyrics.
you just gonna bump them horns? Turn up that fucking piano, asshole.
Yeah, because I've thought about that. I use jazz on my LeVar Cole post, because I was like, okay, what, you know, some people don't like hip hop, some people don't like pop, some people don't like R&B, you know. So that's a happy medium, and a lot of that, and a lot of these other genres derive from jazz. So you're gonna hit one of the the three.
That would be a smooth. The thing is, I don't really want music though, because I want you to be able to hear me clearly. So I don't want there to be any distractions. Everything, like the way everything is set up, there's not a lot, but there's a lot on my display.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's engaging.
Right.
And then I'm there to walk you through it and tell you about this and that, and I'm handing you a flyer, or I got stickers, or grab a button, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing something to engage and pull you in so that I can tell you what I got. And you're like, oh, you know what? You know how many times I heard, I was looking for somebody like you, or, oh man, I didn't know you did that. Because if I don't say it, how you gonna know? You was gonna go grab you a Philly cheesesteak or something. I stopped you in traffic. I know you hungry, but wait, I'm hungry too.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
For clients, I'm trying to, you know, I'm grinding. So, be engaging. Definitely be engaging. You know what I'm saying? Don't be shy. Like, if you want it, you gotta go get it.
No, that's fair and that's real.
And I mean, and you have to take that into mind even when you think about going to vend. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a hustle. So you know what I'm saying, get out there, prepare for it.
So somebody that actually has put an event together before, a great event, may I say, what do you think some of the things are missing from somebody that, or from some of these main people that are putting the event on? Like, I know you said communication is, I mean, that's really the setting the tone. Good communication, potential great turnout. Bad communication may have a decent turnout, but there's going to be a lot of different issues in other areas because of lack of communication. So what are some other things that you see from somebody that's had some experience putting the event together and had to deal with vendors, of what some of these people need to improve on when it comes to the whole process of the event?
Location.
Yeah. Okay.
Location is very important. You need a location where you have full control.
Yes.
And I mean that because when hiccups happen, where things occur, or when you need to make adjustments, you don't need to be looking for who's in charge. You need to be in charge so that you can make these things happen fast and efficiently to keep things moving, flowing, or to not eat up into more time for whatever other setup may need to take place or whatever. So it's like partnering with places is fine. That's not an issue. But you need to make sure that in partnering with them, when it comes time to start, you know what I'm saying, organizing and orchestrating things, that you are in charge and you have to say to be able to put this here, move this here, no, change that lighting here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it makes things flow a lot smoother. If you got an issue, you're like, okay, well, all right, well, let me go see if they can. So now they're waiting, you're waiting until you find, and then once you find them, you have to have that conversation. That's a lot of time being eaten up. And if you have to be set up by a certain time, the event starts at a certain time, right. Got other people come. Now you're starting to create a little bit of anxiety. You're going to start panicking, they're going to start panicking, and then you're going to start rushing. And everybody knows once you start rushing, you forget things or you mess up.
Yep.
That's what happens.
It just a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And so, location and having full control really makes a difference. And another reason for a location, because you want it to be somewhere that is spacious enough for everything that you want to do. You don't want anybody to feel cramped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, nobody really acknowledges it, but we're still coming off of a pandemic, and then they're talking about monkeypox and all these things. Like, COVID is still a thing. And so you definitely want a spot that's spacious enough and, enough room for everybody to be able to maneuver and nobody's elbow to elbow and things of that nature. And I mean, outside is cool, but with outside, like I said, there's an inconvenience of where's the restrooms. Now, porta potties, I don't have an issue with porta potties. I mean, it's a smart thing to do. It's convenient. You can set up anywhere. I mean, for events outside, you have to. I
mean, there's certain scenarios where you just have to. Like, I've been to Raider games, and the whole tailgating thing. They got porta potties out there for that. It's just the concept, I would think, would be a little bit better in 2022.
You would think, but
so
it's almost like if it ain't broke, you don't have to fix it. But it's like, but can we improve it?
Yeah. Just a little germs. Just a little bit.
But then they also have like the hand stations right outside the porta potties where you can pump and wash your hands and have the towels and the soap. And so there's ways to make it work. It's just making sure that you cover all the bases.
Yeah. And I think that when you're partnering with other businesses and you're asking them, can we use your establishment for A, B, and C? There's always small incentives that make a difference in showing them that you appreciate it. Like, hey, go grab a couple burgers and this, that, and the other for their staff from the vending trucks, you know what I'm saying, and give them some lunch or something like that. Small things like food or whatever the case is, like, hey, this is from the guys that are running the event. Just want to give you some lunch and say thank you again. That not only will maybe change their attitude when people have to use their establishment for something as simple as a bathroom, but it also can sway them to want to do that more, because that's showing appreciation, that's showing some communication, like you said before, and I think that people, that's like a lost flavor in the seasoning when it comes to how people conduct business relationships. Everything is it seems like more things
talking about building rapport, relationships,
because that's what networking is. I think networking is just you have a whole bunch of people in your phone that you can call, but it's like, no, part of the network is having that rapport, like you said.
I think because a lot of people do not go into depth or really elaborate on networking. Yeah. If you think about it, when you hear a lot of influencers or certain people talk about networking, like, you need to get out and network and talk to people and do this and do that. Yeah. But how do I talk to these people? What do I say to these people? And then once I have establish that relationship, how do I build and grow on that relationship? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things, it's the thoughtful things, it's you following through and doing things out of the normal and being consistent. You know what I'm saying? That's where above and beyond comes in to play, because those are the type of things that build more rapport. Yeah. And then when certain things happen and certain plays come in, and you might be the person to come to mind because of the rapport that has been built, because they like you. It's not even so much as the business as much as they like you. Yeah, they know you can do the job, and this person can do a job too, but I like him.
Or it could even be a scenario where they're not crazy about you, but they need you. You know what I'm saying? And that need comes from, bringing something valuable to the situation, right? If you bring something, because some people just, like, for example, I know folks that don't like being around bubbly people. Somebody that's always active, hey, how you doing? And they're like, there's nothing wrong with them.
Yo, chill.
Exactly. You got that 7:30 energy, or everybody's still trying to wake up and you look like you've been up for 3 hours. But at the same time, they're looking at it like, I can't stand how energetic this person is. But man, they're resourceful as hell. They're smart as hell. They know how to negotiate things. They actually pick up in areas that I lack. You know what I'm saying? So all of those go into that whole networking concept, other than just, oh, you need to have a network. There's a lot of people that claim to have a network, yet I see time and time again on social media or different areas. Does anybody know anybody? I've even seen people with blue checks. Hey, does anybody know anybody that knows how to, and I feel a way about that. How are you a public figure, and you don't have nobody?
I've seen people I know do that.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people that I know do that.
Like, I'm a published author, bro. And I heard somebody saying, do you know how to publish a book? And I just seen the post and I just scrolled past it. Because it's like, I'm gonna be honest, like, if you feel the need to turn to social media before asking people in your circle,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, go
Godspeed.
for it. Go for
Godspeed.
it. Go for it.
Have fun, man.
Well,
but yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, I think I've done it maybe one time when I needed concrete work done, because I kind of wanted to go through somebody that's
a little different.
But before before I did that, I got on Google and I just seen all of the trash that you gotta funnel through just to find the right information. So I said, you know what? Somebody either does this work or has had this work done before, and it actually did work out, where somebody was like, hey, I got like 2 or 3 people to respond. But other than that, I'm going to go to people that I know, or I'm going to go to Google.
Certain businesses, though, it's kind of easier to like get to them through a reference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because like you said, you'll funnel through a lot of BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to find somebody that's consistent. Like, you might even try to do business with a couple of different people and then fall through.
Yeah.
Until you find somebody who can. So if you call somebody or hit somebody or you put a post out, and let's be honest, it's usually to your followers, right? These are people that you engage with, so you will hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I would hit you or hit my cousin or bro or somebody first.
Somebody
I know
that
somebody.
you know. Yeah.
And then if don't nobody, if I run out of options, all right, it's like, all right, man, maybe I just put it in my story so it disappears. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's 24 hours to respond. Help.
Nah, for real, man. It's like that, bro. It's really like that. It's kind of interesting that so many things that are of some value have lost its value because of the times.
Hasn't lost its value. It's just not appreciated.
Well, yeah, that's the better way. That's the better way to put it.
Like,
that's the better way to put it. Yeah, it's not appreciated.
And the lack of appreciation comes from a certain level of ignorance. And that's not to be taken negatively. I know ignorance seems to have a negative connotation, but it just means that you don't know. So if you don't know, you don't know. So if you don't know, how can you appreciate it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's understandable.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just don't know the value. So if you don't know the value, you can't truly appreciate it in a lot of things. And that's why people operate the way that they do. Like,
to me, that's scary. Like, I'd be like terrified to be in an environment where I'm not really appreciating the value of certain things. And it could just be because of the generation that we come from. Like, we were taught, like, that was like embedded in our DNA as far as in what we should appreciate. we come from the yes sir, yes ma'am, thank you, no thank you
that's
period.
A matter of showing respect.
Yeah.
To your elders, you know what I'm saying?
Because we have an appreciation
for life, because they would kill us if we. I don't know about your parents, but mine didn't play. Like, what do you mean? Like, appreciation for life. Like, yo,
right.
Parents. I remember my mom dropped me once with like a hood. Bro, I swear, before Kendrick ever, you know what I mean? She just. And I just hit the ground. It was like a sensei hit his pupil, and I just. Yes.
He's down. He's not getting up. Man, for real. It's really like that though.
I mean, on the same breath, it's like, all right. So think about it like this, right? How hard is it to become an entrepreneur or create some type of income or do something like as a kid?
How hard was it?
Is it
hard as a kid now?
Mm-hmm.
No. To become an entrepreneur, get a little business, make something happen, find a way to generate money as a kid. How difficult is it now? Now that it could be difficult or it could be easy when you put it like that.
Well, I mean, like, you could turn around and be out here mowing lawns.
Yeah.
Or you could find a way to get into the shoe game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The reason why I say it's hard or difficult is because is the appreciation thing, like you said.
But on the same breath, like, look at vintage clothing.
Yeah.
That's a young man's game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 25 and under really, and then don't get me wrong, there are the OGs that really thrift.
Mm-hmm.
They thrift.
Mm-hmm.
It's vintage to the kids. We
thrift by force.
Man. Inflation got everybody thrifting, you know?
Thrift by force, homie.
But nah, so it's like, I feel like the younger generation, it was easier for them than it was for us.
Yeah.
We have to work a lot harder for everything.
Yo, they make money off video games.
Nothing was really handed to us or easy or accessible like that. We had to work and grind for everything. It was really like...
And we weren't just working. It was a lesson in all the work. It was a lesson in all the work.
Now you see what I'm getting at, because I'm asking, where is the lesson in it now? If it's that easy and you can just like...
Yeah, and that's what's being advertised.
Where's the appreciation for it if it's just that accessible, you can get that? Or if, you know what I'm saying, because your parents worked hella hard, now they don't want you to have to go through that, so they just buy you everything. So now you just swipe mommy and daddy's card whenever you feel like it. Where's the appreciation for anything, right? You just get what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't no value, it's just mine.
There was a lesson.
You know, in the car 2000? No, I know I swiped mom's card and she bought it.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like...
Well, when I think about that, and like I said, since when you gave that correction of, like, you know, the appreciation, that's like a powerful statement, because when you look at the appreciation of stuff, or when you look at how things are appreciated, you know, kids these days are wearing Gucci, Balenciaga, you know, Yeezy, all these different brands.
A lot of them brands, I didn't know they existed until I got into like my pre-adult, like you know what I'm saying? Like I was 18, 19 finding out about certain brands. Like they 12, 11.
Well, I was looking at it like you have to be on a certain level. Like, you know, we're used to seeing the Jay-Z's and the Birdmans and all of them wearing all of this stuff, and, you know, and they're in their prime.
By because I'm about to say that's crazy, because it's like they don't even wear that type of stuff now. But the thing about it is, like, you're right. You used to see celebrities in the high end designer, high fashion type clothing, and you're like, yo, one day.
And that's part of the reason why people wanted to be a celebrity, right?
But on the same breath, how accessible was any of that stuff
back
wasn't.
The knockoffs.
Now you think about with the internet, the websites, the platforms designed specifically for streetwear, clothing. You see what I'm saying? All of this stuff is so much more accessible. It's easy to gain access to it.
This is true. This is
wasn't
true.
like that. Like, bro, it was almost like if you was in California with Gucci, we thought you flew to New York to get it.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that came out of New York. So it was like, yo, did you go? Or,
you know what I'm
I got
saying?
an uncle
like,
or aunt out there. Yeah.
You got a rich auntie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
Bad.
Yeah, so it is, man. When you reflect back on it and you look at that, it's like, wow.
Ain't no appreciation for it. Like, and I mean, it isn't like at zero, but it's very low. The bar is set low.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because we don't appreciate, well, I shouldn't say we, but so many people don't appreciate things that have more appreciation than anything. And I know that's going to go over a lot of people's heads as far as him. But I'm talking about intrinsic value of things. You know what I mean? And yeah, it bleeds in everything else, right? It bleeds into a new culture. It bleeds into the way we interact with each other and conduct business. And that's why I was asking you like a series of all these questions, because you're out. I mean, I haven't even had an opportunity to properly get out there and do what you're now doing. But I know that you're going to have a lot of very important information for both sides. People that want to host an event where they have vendors and people that are thinking about taking their business and going the vending route.
And then, and you know what? Another thing for those who thinking of putting events together, you kind of need to go. Don't just be looking to fill spots for vendor spaces. Making sure that it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, so at this point, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners who happen to have products or services that are very niche, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So because of that, while they might have somewhat of a cult following, that doesn't mean everybody is interested. It doesn't mean it's something that's for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so with that being said, you give them a booth, they probably won't do a lot of business, because what's the guarantee that all 2,000 of their followers from IG are going to put, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. So then that means that they have to be open to new people and engage and whatnot. And if it's something that's very niche, it's going to be like,
Yeah.
Like right now, shoes and clothing, right? That's shoes, clothing, arts, and plants.
Yeah, or accessories. Yeah. Depending, and that's even depending on the type of accessory.
And how about saying that depends on the type of accessories? Are we talking women accessories? Are we talking shoe accessories?
Women accessories, shoe accessories. And the reason why I say what type is because that also depends on the venue that you're at, right? Like if I went to the venue you're talking about, you recently went to with home accessories, right? Or little gadgets accessories, it's probably not going to do that well, right? So yeah, even that has a and
that's what I'm saying. You have to kind of be aware of the people that you're bringing in to kind of figure out what type of traffic and how much engagement and the type of experience people will have when they come. Because if they come, they're like, man, I had a bunch of goofy ass vendors out there. I didn't really like it. Then there's a good chance that they're probably not going to come back to another one.
Yeah.
But if you have good vendors out there that a lot of different people can engage with and take something away from, because it's something that, appeals to a lot more people, a broader mass, then there's a good chance, like, they have some good vendors. They probably going to have something like that again next month. I might slide by.
Right.
Because you had a good time and you actually were able to engage and probably bought some things. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
And that matters.
No, it does.
That matters for the patrons. And if you want high foot traffic, if you want people talking about returning or spreading the word about the good time that they had, then you need to make sure that it's in a good location, right? Spaced out. You got good vendors there, people with stuff that appeals to a broad, variety. And like you want to have it on point, so
there's a reason why
matters.
Places like Swap Meets and Denials and all these different places are going to do numbers, because they know what to have and they know what kind of traffic they're going to get based off of what they're providing, right?
And then I feel like if you put on an event, you should engage more with the vendors after.
Yeah,
after.
For sure.
Like coming towards the end of the event.
After and during, if you
during the event, of course, you should try to, but after the event, coming towards the end of the event, you should be looking to engage just to see how the vendors felt about the event, what they took away from it, what type of experience that they had. Because then in the future, you're like, well, somebody that's a vendor like such and such wants to vend, but such and such didn't do too well. So I don't think we're going to have them come out because they're probably going to have the same type of experience at the last vendor because they're pretty much in the same lane.
Right.
And so that's not going to be beneficial to them and really won't be beneficial to us because then they're going to look at us like we're just taking their money. Right. And you want to make sure that you have good relationship with these vendors because you might need them to come out again, right?
Yeah.
Say you're doing an event and you're like, man, I'm kind of short on these vendors. And you can go through your list and be like, okay, such and such, everything was cool. Everything was smooth with them. You reach out to them like, yo,
it should be a survey going on. It should be a survey. Like,
got an event going on, bro. I'll give you a discount on the booth. Come out.
I did a lot of different training over the years where in a specific company, what they would do is throughout the training, they would like take about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? And they would basically give us these little remotes and then they would have questions and then you answered according, are the breaks long enough? What can we do different? Is the material should the material be shortened? And I don't think enough businesses or enough people, especially in this type of field where you're dealing with multiple businesses, right? You're dealing with so many different elements from customers, vendors to other businesses, whatever, to where that's free information. And it's going to be, and it's a good trade-off. People are being heard. Right? As far as in what could be better and what they need. And you get all the information you need to be able to control the emotions behind that. Right? So,
Facts. I was just thinking about something else. God, so many things, bro. The more I think about it, if there's more than one person running the event, the vendors should know that. They should know who the, you know what I'm saying, who everybody who's in charge. If it's because it's got to be more than one person, right? It usually is. It's like 2 or 3 people. And so I feel like every time I've gone to the event, I've had to search for who's in charge. And then there's multiple people who are in charge, so it means it's a team. And I find out through them telling me something out of nowhere that there's more than one person in charge. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, a message should go out to all the vendors and be like, okay, we have a team. And on the day that the event is, it'll be John, Mike, and Scott. And you can find us all right around the DJ's booth.
Right. So
then that means John, Mike, and Scott need to be around the DJ booth because that's where all the vendors
are. At least one, right?
One
of them, yeah. I agree.
So, because the thing about it is, like, I pull up to the event, I don't know who's in charge, right? And I don't know where to look. So now I'm running around, and everybody.
So you've actually went to these events where you do not know the people, like the main people that are in charge for the day?
I know 1 or 2, but those aren't the people who engage with me. Like, for one event, I had no clue. One event, I had no clue at all.
That's embarrassing.
I had no clue. I found out because
I'd be embarrassed if I ran that event and like people weren't familiar with me or knew who I was. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
And then for one of them, I knew who was in charge, but I couldn't find him. And so then and then I parked my car and then he popped up. You can't park there. Oh, well, not looking to park here. I'm actually a vendor. Hi. I was trying to find you. Where do I set up at? He's like, oh, what's your name? I told him the name. He's like, okay, yeah, we're going to have you set up over here. Actually, if you want to pull the car around, now you're helpful. It was like after the...
You know, it's weird because people that have seasoned experiences would approach you like, hey, are you here with the event by chance or this, that, and the other? And you would have said yes, and he would have gave you that same information. And if you had said no, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, unfortunately, you can't park right here because blah, 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 blah. But it was just immediately, oh, you can't park right here. And, that also gives me indication that other things could have probably played into why the approach was that way. But we don't have time for that today. But I feel like that's what real customer service looks, feels, and sounds like. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, for the record, if you're in charge, you're there to serve. That means even the people that are working with or under you in this case. Your whole purpose of your position in leadership is to serve those that are trying to serve everyone else because it's a domino effect. right?
Yeah, but people in leadership don't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
Positions of leadership are positions where you serve.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Serve the people too.
Ugh. See, the smart people that don't want to be in leadership, they understand that. So it's like, yo, that's not really my get up. But yeah, for the record, guys, like
all of them, nah. I'm gonna go down there with them and we gonna yell up here. Y'all find somebody. What?
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, dude. But it is great that we've actually have found a way to at least get here over the past few years, dealing with 2020 until now. That people, because there's a lot of people that felt like they weren't going to see outside. It was just like, wow, everything has changed forever, and that is in fact still true. Like things have been changed forever, just with the atmosphere between people.
Mask in establishments.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and that's never gonna be weird. If we're talking 2018 and maybe 2019 and prior, that would be extremely weird. Like, yo, what's up with bruh? So the world has changed, but it is good to start seeing opportunities present themselves again and
to
things.
Get out there and engage and socialize. You know what I mean?
A lot of that stuff. Because, I mean, obviously there needs to be a lot of practice, right? Because of, the lack of how people engage with each other anymore. And
yeah. The thing about it is like, and that's what's so crazy. It's like people are so used to text and social media and all
that distance.
Yeah. That the face-to-face interaction and engagement, like
it's now uncomfortable at times.
And it's very low. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't even really know how to respond in certain cases, and it's awkward because it's simple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually simple and it's quicker. Like I still talk on I think me, you, and several people that I know still talk on the phone, like have a phone conversation, because I swear, like if you're trying to have a conversation about something, it could take days. All right? Days to really finish the conversation, which could be an easy 15 to 30-minute conversation.
I'm finna just send you this paragraph.
Yeah.
Respond. Nah, but that's how a lot of people are. Like they prefer to text behind the screen.
It's just, you're so many distractions, man. I don't.
Like I told you, like I was out there and there was a lack of engagement. Mm-hmm. Like people were just kind of sitting and chilling. They weren't really trying to sell their stuff. They weren't really like, hey, check this out. Like
that's a fast way for me to walk past your booth too.
Some vendors, like I saw a couple that were like just sitting back in their chairs, right? And don't get me wrong, I was sitting down here and there, but it was like whenever I seen people approaching, I got up. I had flyers ready. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as you look anywhere in my direction, or if I feel like you got on some kicks that are, I'm on you. You're like, I ran out of flyers today.
That's great. That's great.
Like I'm on you, but that's how you have to be. You have to engage. So it's like like hey, I got shoe trees for this. We'll here, take a flyer, my man. Like you know what I'm saying. Hey, good morning. How you guys doing? We're doing good. Great. Check this out. Let me talk to you. But you have to engage.
Right. You do.
Just in saying good morning and hey, how's it going? You know what I'm saying. And they leave me. I'm like, enjoy yourself while you're here. Have a good time. Like. Be friendly, engage, talk to people. Like that's where your sales are going to come from. That's where a lot of things will happen or transpire from that, because now they have a flyer and they might leave from there. And if I'm one of few people that talk to them and they engage with them, remember that they might hit over to the IG. I'll possibly get a follow. And from that, who knows? I might end up cleaning their shoes or them buying the kit, or you never know what can transpire from the engagement, but you have to be willing to engage.
See, this is the behavior of a dying group, which was street teams. That was what a street team did, I still think they're effective if anybody is thinking about getting back into that game, because that was your sole purpose, is to engage, have a conversation, give you information, introduce things that maybe individuals or that individual hasn't been introduced to. Bruh. And that's a lost art too, as well as street teams.
I was on their helmets. I got people flipping through the portfolio book. They grabbing stickers, taking pins. Like, I got people buying stuff just off the engagement.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you never know what can happen just off the engagement. You can make money if you're willing to put yourself out there and talk to people and push yourself and push what it is you have. But I mean, if you believe in it, you should be willing to do that anyway.
Absolutely.
That should be like almost second nature.
Yeah, that's real. And then the other thing that I look at too with it is like, you know, having that engagement could stir up that traffic that you want, because, you know, you have 2-3 people that turn into 5 people, 6 people, and then everybody else is looking, yo, what's going on over there? There's a lot of people over there. Now you have a group of people that are like, oh, okay, oh shit, I didn't know, I've never seen one of those, but that's what you want,
and that's what's going on too. Because like now I got him looking, flipping through the book, and they're like, well, what he stopped for? He stopped for this. Take this flyer. Here you go. Yeah, I clean shoes and I do all type of things. Yeah, and I got kids and shoe trees. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you. I'm like, yeah, man, hit me up so you take care of that. And I flip it back, see this what he was looking at.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to be, man. I'm not shy about anything.
You can be when it comes to your business. It's like, that's your baby, right? I don't think anybody is shy about their baby, man.
See the pictures? Look at, look. He drilling, huh?
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Hey, that is a true thing.
You know what I mean? So yeah, hell yeah, absolutely, man. You gotta want it.
Yeah, man. So what are your goals moving forward? You know, with doing this.
Honestly, I've been thinking about if I really want to continue to do events. I enjoy the engagement. I do like to, you know, be out there and socialize. I'm not really sure if it's for me though.
I understand that.
The goal is somewhat exposure, because in doing the events, it's not somewhat, it is exposure. The goal is exposure, because in doing these events, I cross paths with a lot of individuals and a lot of people that would never see me otherwise.
Yeah.
And so in creating
all the
exposure,
stuff that social media is preventing for a lot of us.
Right. And so in creating the exposure, I create the opportunities. Another thing is the events are here. So if I'm here, I got to be local.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I find out I'm local, that adds to it. So the exposure is pretty much the goal right now. Of course, I would like to make a profit. That's not guaranteed. And a lot of times the benefits and the things that you can gain will not always be from a monetary standpoint. So my focus isn't the money. Like I said, I'm focused on the outcome, not the income. When I get to where I'm going, the income will not be an issue. And so it's about staying consistent, creating more exposure, and really just getting out there and networking, because I feel like there's a lot of possibilities and opportunities out there.
Oh, the possibilities grow.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we've seen tons of movies where somebody's been grinding forever, and then their flyer ends up in somebody's cafe, and this person that's been looking for that person on the flyer for years is like, oh, this is something I'm interested in. And then boom. All because you gave that to somebody that maybe it didn't work for them, but it came across to the right person through them.
So exposure, that's the main goal.
Yeah,
the main goal is exposure, because that'll create opportunities, and if I am willing to seize the opportunities,
you have to take all opportunities for it too. I mean, even me, I haven't even taken all opportunities. That's why I sometimes I gotta slap my own hand and be like, shut up. You didn't do this, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I think that's the thing a lot of people miss. Like, you really can't complain about things if you're not doing your part. You know what I'm saying? And man, it's all part of the process.
You gotta treat it like a relationship you want to be in, right? You're gonna bust your ass. You're gonna do all kinds of stuff. You're gonna do things you ain't done before.
You're gonna be consistent.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Right?
And that when you want something, that's the thing. Whenever you want something, you'll be consistent. And
absolutely.
So you have to ask yourself, how bad do you really want it?
Yep. And there's not a whole lot of room for excuses with consistency.
Well, and see, and that's the thing, that there is no room for excuses with consistency, because consistency finds a way.
Yep.
That's like, consistency finds a way.
It finds a way for things that are in the way. You're like, I'm going around here. Nope, not letting it happen. Nope.
Yeah, I gotta go over, go under, around. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find a way.
Yep.
Take the long route. I gotta take the long route.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna find a way.
The stairs are tiring, but it eventually is.
Look. I tell you what though, stairs ain't crowded.
Show ain't.
That part. So, you know.
Stairs don't break down, elevators do.
Perception, man.
Right?
If you have the drive and the hustle, You know what I mean?
Yup. Real talk, man. Well,
consistent.
Gonna get up on out of here, man.
There you go.
We giving away the jewelry box.
Well, you know, just trying to help guys out, man.
Anyways, people, thank you for tuning in to almost said the wrong show. Almost did it again.
Damn.
Thank you for tuning in to the Notion Podcast. You've been tuning in to another episode of Boss Talk with your boy Dizzy D Spill and my co-host
Jelani Evans.
So thank you for tuning in. You already know what to do. However you're listening to us, however you're tuning in, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, give feedback. It's always welcome.
Always.
Even the stuff you don't like, give the feedback. That's how you grow, right?
Facts.
Anyways, we finna get out of here and talk about some stuff we don't want to tell y'all on mic. Until next time, peace.